Good morning, student of class 11th commerce. Welcome to Pandit Sir's virtual class on microeconomics, and our topic of discussion today is budget line and its slope. So, in our last few classes, we have discussed or we have been discussing the ordinal utility theory of consumer equilibrium, or the Hicks-Allen theory of consumer equilibrium. And in that context, we have already discussed what is the meaning of indifference curve, what is the shape of an indifference curve, and what are the characteristics of indifference curve. We have already discussed those things. And next we are going to discuss, in our next class we are going to discuss how, with the help of an indifference curve, we can explain the consumer equilibrium, which is based on ordinal utility measurability. That means the believer of indifference curve approach thinks that because utility is subjective and cannot be numerically measured, that's why we cannot rely on the theory of cardinal utility proposed by Alfred Marshall, and that's why they supported the theory developed by Hicks and Allen regarding consumer equilibrium. And in order to understand consumer equilibrium in ordinal utility approach, we need to understand two things. First, the shape and slope of indifference curve, which is convex to the point of origin, because the marginal rate of substitution goes on falling and falling and falling and falling. So we need to understand clearly that what is the reason and why the slope of indifference curve is convex to the origin, and with that we need to understand what is a budget line, because we are going to, in our next class, we are going to discuss, or we are going to understand consumer equilibrium, and in that we have to keep in our mind both the concept, that is the slope of the indifference curve and the slope of the budget line. You can see here in this diagram, the budget line, unlike indifference curve, is a linear line or a straight line, and we know very well that in a straight line the slope is a constant. Del y by del x is always a constant, whereas del y by del x in the indifference curve, which is convex to the origin, is going on decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. So we will discuss, or we will understand the concept of consumer equilibrium with the help of both two curves, that is, one is budget line and another is indifference curve. So almost we have discussed everything regarding indifference curve, and today we are going to understand what is budget line, why it is a linear line, and what is the slope, and what is its importance, what is the importance of budget line in the theory of ordinal utility analysis or indifference approach analysis, to understand how a consumer attains equilibrium. Once again I repeat here, a consumer is attaining equilibrium. What does it mean? It means that out of his expenses or sacrifices, the consumer is getting or deriving the maximum possible satisfaction. So, a consumer attains equilibrium in a position where he is deriving the highest level of satisfaction out of his sacrifice or out of his expenditure. So, what is budget line? So in order to budget line, we have to take some assumptions that let we draw a budget line of two different goods X and Y. Goods Y and goods X. The consumer is consuming two different goods X and Y, and the price of both the goods is important, and the disposable income, that the income at the hand of our consumer that he is going to spend on the purchase of good X and good Y is fixed. It is not changing. That means the income of the consumer is neither falling nor rising, and the prices of both the goods also is constant or fixed. It is not changeable. So assuming these two things, suppose we take here an imaginary example where price of X is ₹1 per unit and price of Y is, I am sorry, I put 2 here, it should be 1. is not 6, it is 5. So see here the assumptions that price of X per unit is 1 rupee. That means 1 rupee you pay and you get 1 unit of X. 1 rupee you pay, also you can get 1 unit of Y. And the disposable income that is at the hand or at the disposal of our consumer is rupees 5. The consumer has 5 rupees and he is going to spend all the entire 5 rupees in the consumption of, in the purchase of X and Y, two goods. So, what are the different combinations that the consumer is able to purchase with his limited budget 5 rupees when the prices are 1 rupees each X and Y? So here, you see this table. In this table, we have different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different combinations A, B, C, D, E, F. And in all other combinations, the number of X and Y the consumer consuming is changing. And see, in the combination 1, the consumer purchases 5 unit of X and 0 unit of Y. That means instead of 2 goods, the consumer is not purchasing Y and spending his entire income in the purchase of X. So here, what would be the expenditure, total expenditure of the consumer? That each X cost him 1 rupee. That means 5 into 1 into 5 plus Y, because he is not consuming Y. That is price of Y is 1 into 0. That is 0. So 5 plus 0 equal to 5. That means when our consumer purchases 5 unit of X and 0 unit of Y, he is spending his total income of 5 rupees. Then come to the next combination. Here the combination is 4 unit of X and 1 unit of Y. Total expenditure is 5 rupees. Here 3 units of Y means as we are going to other combination or points, the combination, the number of X and Y is changing. That means from the first case to the second case, the consumer sacrifices 1 unit of X and that extra income he is spending on the purchase of 1 unit of Y. That means 4:1, 3:2, 2:3, 1:4, and in the last combination E, F, the consumer is purchasing no unit of X, but he is spending his entire income in the purchase of Y. That's why his total expenditure is 5. And what is del Y by del X? It is nothing but the price ratio. Why del Y by del X is price ratio? Because see, that when there is a change in X and change in Y, the ratio, that is del Y upon del X, depends upon the exchange rate of X and Y. So because 1 unit of Y can be exchanged for the price of 1 unit of X, that's why del Y by del X is always 1 upon 1 equal to 1. That means it's a constant. And also we have discussed earlier that the slope of a linear line or a straight line is always constant. That's why the slope is constant, the budget line is the budget line. It represents, or again if you wanted to define the budget line, sometimes you may get a 1 mark question regarding budget line. So what is a budget line? 1 mark question. The answer is a simple statement. A budget line is the locus of different points that represents different combinations of X and Y, what our consumer can purchase with his limited income when the other thing remaining constant. Other thing remaining constant again comes to the ceteris paribus assumption, and according to that assumption, neither the price of X and Y nor the disposable income of our consumer is changing. Thus, point A, point B, point C, D, E and F, all different points showing different combinations of X and Y that the consumer is able to purchase when he is spending his entire income of 5 rupees on the purchase of X and Y, and when the price of X and Y each is 1 rupee per unit. So this is the constraint. This is, again you can see here, this is del Y and this is del X. This is del Y, this is del X, and almost the proportion is always equal. That's why it is not changing, and the slope of budget line is a constant. So thus this is all about the meaning of budget line and the slope of budget line. once again I remind you, in order to understand consumer equilibrium with the help of indifference curve, you have a clear idea about budget line and indifference curve, because with both the curves, that is the budget line and indifference curve, we would define or we would explain or we would understand how the consumer is attaining equilibrium. This is all about today. Go through the note, read a little bit about consumer equilibrium according to ordinal utility analysis, because tomorrow we are going to take that class. In case any doubt, you please contact me to clarify it. Thank you and have a nice day.